Listen, motherhood is freaking messy, business is completely wild, and somewhere between the school runs, the sleepless nights, good Lord help us all, and chasing our own dreams, we're all asking, where's the fucking village? I'm Andrea Augustinucci, brand strategist and mom of two amazing kids, and the creative force behind Brand Embodied Agency. This podcast is where we'll strip away the highlight reels of life, dive into the real conversations about motherhood, entrepreneurship, and the beautiful chaos in between. You'll hear raw stories, real strategies, and honest conversations with women who aren't afraid to tell you the actual truth about what it takes to raise babies and build empires, because I have a secret, it's possible to do both. Here, we're not just asking where's the village, we're rebuilding it. Let's fucking go. Hey mama, welcome back. I am really excited you're here today. I am going to be sharing a little bit of my journey with you about what it looks like to actually step in and follow your truest passion. So I feel like as mom entrepreneurs, there's so much pressure to perform. There's so much pressure to prove yourself. There's so much pressure to be successful. And at the same time, there's so much pressure to be an amazing mom, an amazing wife, and oh, by the way, take care of yourself and stay in shape and all the things. And it can be a fucking lot. And I think that when the job or the business starts to feel heavy, it's like, this is mine. I get to control this completely. No one else gets to tell me how I should be running my business, what I should be doing in my business, if I should show up today or not. And this is mine to do with it what I please. So I have built a couple of different businesses over the past almost 8 years now that I loved and ended up stepping away from because it just wasn't fully aligned for me where I ended up in my life at the time. And looking back, it's like, I feel that it was the right thing to do to get me to where I am today. So it's really exciting. And I just want to share the stories with you guys in order to help maybe inspire you to make a shift where you are in your business. If you've been feeling heavy, things haven't been feeling aligned, whatever it might be, to just do it. Just fucking do it. Life is too short. Okay. So it all started back in 2017, I had stepped away from my real estate business. At the time, I was actually working for the ease of explanation, I was like a manager of the brokerage at the real estate agency. So at the time, I was in charge of over 400 agents, 6 different locations. I think it was like 16 staff members, whatever. And it really, I thought it was the end all. When I first got the job, I was so fucking excited. And I was like, this is my path. This is where I'm going to be. I knew that my husband and I were going to start a family soon. I didn't want to be out selling real estate anymore, nights, weekends, all the things. This was like the more, not total, but more 9 to 5. There was travel included, which I fucking love travel. And I stepped into the role, and there's a big story here, and I'm not going to go into it, but long story short, it was not at all what I expected. And I was just like so heavy in the feeling. And there were people being, added onto the team that were just not in alignment with what the company stood for and what my standards are. And I was like, why am I staying here? This is like the dumbest thing. So quickly I recognized, I think I was there over a year in that position, but I was like, I can't do this. I am going to work feeling so heavy. And at the time I ended up getting pregnant. So I had used that as the excuse because when I tried to talk to the owner about it, it kind of fell on deaf ears. So there was no conversation to be had. And even when I did give my notice, I said, if you'd like to do an offboarding call, I'd be really open to giving you some feedback. And there were crickets. So I was like, okay, confirmation. This is definitely not the path I should be on. So after that, I had my baby, my son, who's now 7. And I was so excited to be a mom. And at the same point, my entire life of being a working adult, and I have to say, I had a job since I was 13. I was waitressing tables. I was babysitting. I shouldn't have been waitressing at that age, but it was like this small diner. Nobody was checking anything. So I worked for a long time and I did a lot of different things along the way. But when I became a mom, I was like, oh my God, I felt like there was nothing defining me anymore and my success. There was nothing that I was able to achieve and prove myself. And I it probably took like 3 months, the first 3 months of my son's life for me to be like, okay, this is okay to just be and want to stare at your baby all day. This is a normal feeling for a mom. So luckily, I had the opportunity to stay home with my son for a year. And, at the time, it was like the best thing that could have happened to me. Not just having him, but really being able to like gear down, because my whole freaking life I'm like up here going a mile a minute trying to achieve and be the best at what I was doing and hit ranks and all the things, because that's how I felt successful, and that's how I defined myself, and my worth was through the work and everything I was doing. So it really helped me to like take a step back to be like, whoa, I'm not defined by my job. I'm not defined by quote unquote success in business. I am not defined by that. I am myself. I am a human. I am, I am worthy and enough without having to prove myself. So after that, I ended up stepping into the online coaching world, and I kind of did a couple of different things. And every time it was like, this isn't really for me for one reason or another, without again going into the story. And then I was able to stumble upon, I think I had told this story in another podcast episode already, of how I started to do my branding agency, or my branding company, and then later turned that into an agency. And again, got to a point, it's been almost 4 years now since doing this, 1 year having my agency, just over a year. And I'm like, this still isn't feeling good, you guys. This isn't great, right? Like I talked about this. So I'm just giving myself some grace and not asking about the outcome. So like, for example, I would like to be contributing financially to our family during this time, and that is not currently happening. And I also have to tell myself that's okay. We are okay. We will survive. It's fine. And I think that this is happening because I need to work through this feeling of like still having worth, even though I'm not bringing financial contribution into our family. So one of the things that I have been feeling super fucking called to do during this time is purge our home on like a really, really, really deep level. So I love purging. I love purging homes, closets. Like, you need some help with that, you fucking call me, because I am your girl. I will get you the shit organized, stuff out. Like it's my jam. I love it. It's something that I have helped family members with. Like, I'm talking one closet, 11 bags of clothes, and I'm talking contractor bags of clothes. Okay. So it's kind of my magic sauce. I love it. And at the same point, my house has gotten to a point, especially for those of you who have children, know once you have kids, you start to accumulate this stuff, and then you don't have all the time to go through all the stuff and get that stuff out once you're done with it, or it just like gets stashed places. And it's like almost, I have felt that I make so many decisions every fucking day, and the last thing I want to do is decide if I should get rid of these pair of shoes or not. Do they fit my child still? I don't know. Am I having a second child? I don't know, right? Like, that's where I was at that time in my life. So I'm like, it's just easier to put it somewhere than actually make another fucking decision in my day. So I am now at the point of where I am in my life. I'm like, I would love to take some time and really focus on my home. And the most exciting part about this for me is that, and I'm not into Chinese astrology, like I don't follow it or whatever, but so many people, when I have posted about this, have been like, it's the year of the snake. It's all about shedding. And you have until February 16th. And I'm like, oh my God, what date? What's today? Okay, today's the 22nd of January. Like, I almost have a month to like do my entire home. So this has been really exciting for me because it just feels so like purifying. So I have purged the house over the past like 5 years, and like big fucking purges, especially the basement. I moved 11 times in the course of like 5 years. At one point, I had caught my dad doing cocaine in my house. There was stuff missing from my room because he had someone over who ended up stealing from me. And I'm like, I am out of here. I was in college at the time, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm out. So I literally like took my shit and left. And God, that's another story for another time, how that all worked out. But I ended up like feeling the need to just hold on to everything until I settled into where I was actually going to settle. So I had lived in an apartment with a friend for a while, and then she ended up moving out because she was going to get married. She left me all her pots and pans because they were getting new ones, being newlyweds. So I was like, okay, I started like accumulating this stuff that I was like, this is nice stuff. Like I I don't want I don't want to throw this out because what if I need this someday? And that became my mentality for everything. So as I moved around for all those years, I kept stuff and I accumulated stuff and I kept stuff and I never fucking got rid of anything, like anything. So I ended up, over the past 5 years feeling like it's time to shed, it's time to get rid of this stuff. So I primarily started in our basement, and our basement is a place that I would love to have finished one day, but honestly, it is storing everything that I'm like, we've done it. Probably we've organized and purged like twice since living here. We've been here for 11 years. And it gets better and better. And then it kind of gets worse again, especially now. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, talk about where's the fucking village. I've had so many friends who have had girls who are like, do you want our clothes? Like, we're getting rid of them. I have up to like teenage clothes right now for my sister. Like, it's a lot. So for that, it's kind of like gathering the stuff again and building up. And I'm like tiptoeing around the basement a little bit to get to the fucking water heater, right? So anyway, it's at a state of disarray down there. And I am feeling like I'm just working through the house to get it to a point that I can't say minimalism. I feel like for me, minimalism feels unachievable with children. It's probably not true. I'm sure there are people who live a minimalistic life with children and it probably benefits the kids. And I do feel like for me, that is something I would have to really work hard for, and it feels heavy. So I'm not going for minimalism yet in my life, and I'm going for at least a 65% reduction in everything in our house. So I've talked about my son's desk behind me before. That ends up being a catch place. Like, he's 7. He's not here like doing schoolwork or anything. He's at school and he just loves to collect stuff. So anyway, like I just am so excited to be able to take some time right now. And, like I said, I have just under a month left. And this is what I'm feeling called to do. It has nothing to do with my fucking business. Yet this is where I am feeling like I need to show up right now for myself, for my family, for my home. And I do actually think this is going to benefit my business in some way, shape, or form, right? Something is going to come out of this. I don't know what, nor am I questioning what that is. So along the way, I'm actually sharing my journey. So my personal Instagram page is where I'm sharing the purge journey. And it was my business page. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just doing whatever I'm feeling called to do. So this is something that I feel like when things start to feel heavy, whether it's in your business, your relationship, it's a really great time to kind of sit back and be like, okay, what doesn't feel aligned anymore? Answer that, get that articulated, and then be like, what am I feeling called to do? And then fucking go do it. Now, obviously, I know not everyone has, I'll call it the luxury of being able to take time off and, go in and purge their home for a month. And I still have like clients working. I'm still doing things in my business and my team is going. So there are things still happening. It's not like I'm like shutting everything down. So I want to be clear on that. And I'm also able to prioritize where I'm feeling called because I have a team. So I just wanted to kind of mention that too. So if at any point you're like, I'm not feeling aligned, I want to do this, but I can't just leave this alone, it's something to consider to hire help. If you go through like Upworks or Fiverr, you can find some really amazing talent and you can put in your budget. So it could be like $5 an hour, $35 an hour, whatever you're paying people for who you're looking for. And it can truly help alleviate you having to do everything. So I just wanted to kind of bring this here as a reminder to everyone that, number one, don't feel like you have to perform in order to have worth. You are worthy just because you are. And that is like something to remember and say to yourself every day, I am worthy because I am. That's it. There's no other reason. Just because you are. So there's that. And also don't hold back. If you're feeling heavy in a certain area of your life and you're feeling called to pull the plug on something, a relationship, whatever it might be, do it. Do it and see the magic unfold. I can guarantee you it will. I honestly feel like I've never had so much engagement on my social media posts ever until I'm doing these like time lapse purge posts, like all the things. And everyone's like, I don't even know, commenting, messaging me. They're like, you're inspiring me. Thank you so much. And I'm like, oh, this feels so good because I'm not just doing it for myself and my family. It's helping other people too. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and bring that here for you guys today as a reminder that you too are fucking worth it. Love you guys. You've been listening to Where's the Fucking Village, the podcast for moms raising babies and building empires. You were never meant to do this alone.